Hi, today I want to talk about tubing mascara. Before I start, I would like to thank all of you for your warm response to my last video. For me, it took certain courage to talk about that matter, and now I'm very glad I did. So I just wanted to say thanks again. And concerning tubing mascara, I think I mentioned a few times my mascara, which is not smudging, but I didn't really talk about that in depth, how it worked. It is actually a tubing mascara, and today I will explain a little bit about what is tubing mascara and how to distinguish them from non-tubing ones. My story is basically every mascara smudges on my eyes. Maybe it works more or less in the very beginning when I freshly opened the bottle, something like less than 1 month. Then afterwards, it's just smudging all the time. Because I didn't want to buy mascara every month. For daily makeup, I didn't use mascara at all. And only for special occasions, I used it. I just apply it shortly before I go out. And when I have a concert or ballet performance, then I don't apply it at home. I just take it with me. And just before it begins, I go to bathroom and apply it quickly. And I didn't really know why every mascara smudges on my eyes. I was thinking, do I have a strange eye shape? And I also tried many different brands, and waterproof one and non-waterproof one, back and forth, and nothing worked. And at the end, I settled with Lancome Definisil. That one worked best. It's also not perfect, but let's say better than other mascaras. And Definisil is a lengthening mascara, so it separates lashes, and it's nothing to do with volume. So I was thinking maybe because it doesn't contain much pigment, it works more or less because there's nothing much to smudge. And I was also very careful with application. I never apply too much. I count the strokes. I apply just 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was it. And somewhere last year, I had again an important concert. And my Definisil was at that time quite old, so I anyway had to exchange it. But somehow I didn't want to buy it anymore because I knew it doesn't work. So I searched online for mascara which is not smudging. And there I encountered tubing mascara. I never heard about that before. And there were a few sites where they are recommending tubing mascaras from different brands. And one of them was from Estee Lauder, because Estee Lauder is one brand which I'm more or less familiar with. So I decided to go for that one. So this mascara is called Double Wear Zero Smudge Lengthening Mascara. And I tried it on, and it really didn't smudge. For a whole day, I was so happy and annoyed at the same time. Why didn't I know about that before? And this was also very easy to remove because it needs just a warm water. So what I do is I first remove my eye makeup with eye makeup remover because mascara is not the only thing which I have on my eyes. Then mascara is also going away up to a certain degree, but I don't care much because I know when I wash my face with warm water, it will go away completely. And I also did an oil test with this mascara because you remember for eyeliner, I also did oil test. So to compare, I took another non-tubing mascara. That one is from Bobbi Brown, Smoky Eye Mascara. That one is not waterproof and also not tubing mascara. But this time, instead of using oil from my nose, I just used my oil mixture. And I tried to smudge them at the same time. Then I could see this mascara is much more resistant against oil. This is not completely oil-proof, but as you can see, this is much more resistant against oil. So I think that's how it works for my eyes. I have oily eyelids, and none of those waterproof or non-waterproof ones worked, but this tubing mascara works. Because I was so impressed by this mascara, I decided to try this as an eyeliner as well. So I took a brush and took a little bit of this mascara and applied it on my lash line. And it also didn't smudge. Then I decided to have a look if they also have an eyeliner from the same line, and they did. So that is this Double Wear Zero Smudge Liquid Eyeliner, which I showed in my first empties video. And this one also doesn't smudge. So I was very happy to find those non-smudging mascara and eyeliner set. But unfortunately, they discontinued this eyeliner. So I asked them, then they recommended another eyeliner. But I was not sure if it will also work. So I decided to study a little bit more about tubing mascara and eyeliner with the same material apparently. Because they don't always specify this is a tubing mascara. So I thought I should be able to distinguish it myself. And for eyeliners, they don't even have any name for those eyeliners. So I decided to learn more about tubing mascara. So what I found out is tubing mascara contains polymer. Polymer is compound material where lots of molecules are bonded together and forming a chain. So easiest way to understand it is it's some kind of plastic. And for example, as a natural polymer, there is rubber. So when I looked up those ingredient lists of mascara, ingredients list, they always write down in the order of the amount. So more amount is in this product, then it's coming on top. So in this mascara, the first one was water. And at the second place, there was something copolymer. And as I looked down, there was altogether 3 copolymers and 1 cross polymer. Although I don't understand anything about chemistry, I could see roughly it contains certain amount of polymers. So to compare, I took another mascara from Estee Lauder, which I've just got as a gift. The one was called Sumptuous Extreme. Because I have received a full-sized one as a gift, I was hoping this is also some kind of tubing mascara. So I decided to ask Estee Lauder. Online, you can chat and ask them questions. So I asked them if this is tubing mascara, and they said no. So when I had a look ingredient list of that mascara, there was no polymer on the second place, also no polymer on the third place. Somewhere below, they had one copolymer. So apparently that is not enough to be a tubing mascara. And when I had a look at waterproof mascaras from Estee Lauder, they didn't contain any polymer. I also looked up other tubing mascaras from other brands and their ingredient list. And they all had, after water as a second place, some kind of polymer. So that's how you can distinguish tubing mascara from non-tubing ones. And before I mentioned about this eyeliner, which is also not smudging, and I also looked up its ingredient list. And that one also had at the second place one copolymer. And in my eyeliner video, I mentioned they recommended another eyeliner because they discontinued this. That one was called Little Black Liner. And from their ingredient list, the polymer was at the third place. So not the second place. So I'm actually not sure if it will also work. When I run out of my eyeliner, then I will probably purchase that one. Then I can tell you guys if it works or not. So for me, this tubing mascara is some kind of lifesaver. That I can finally wear mascara every day and whole day. So that was it for today. I hope this video was helpful for those of you who also have oily eyelids like me to distinguish better tubing mascaras from non-tubing ones. So thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!